Welcome to Residential Tech Talks. I'm Jeremy Glowacki, Executive Editor of Residential Tech Today. On this week's podcast, Patrick Laidlaw joins us from Detroit, Michigan, where he is on the road evangelizing about the opportunities available in the lighting fixture business as he serves as Director of Business Development for Integration at AiSPiRE, the integration-only brand of WAC lighting. WAC produces technology-driven lighting products featuring state-of-the-art LED light engines through their own vertically integrated manufacturing facility. Being a true manufacturer, the Port Washington, New York-based company has the ability to do custom, design-built, and private label goods. Patrick and I met briefly about a week ago in Dallas at the inaugural Lightapalooza conference organized by the HTSA buying group. Patrick, on behalf of AiSPiRE, led one of the several manufacturer training sessions, and I was impressed with how well he laid out the opportunities and challenges afforded custom integrators interested in adding lighting design and fixture sales to their offerings. While I don't expect Patrick to cover his full 1-hour session here today, I do hope that we can hit on some of those highlights of this burgeoning new category for custom integrators. Patrick Laidlaw, it's great seeing you again. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and help get the message out.
Well, you really did illustrate the opportunities very well in the session, and I immediately knew that I couldn't do it justice just myself, so having you on to talk about it would be great. And I really wanted to start off by just reviewing what you can about WAC and the creation of the integrator-specific AiSPiRE brand, and maybe your personal history in lighting as well. So maybe you could just start off by talking about briefly about the history of WAC.
Sure. So WAC is still family owned. Today it was founded in 1984, and we were an importer for many years. In right around 2000, our owner said, "I don't want to be at the mercy of other manufacturers in regards to quality and supply chain." And so we purchased property, built our own facility from the ground up, which is almost 800,000 square feet, and now control our own manufacturing. Everything, we're completely vertically integrated from the design all the way into making the machines and the molds that we pour the castings into, powder coating, full electrical and UL testing, and everything from the ground up. So we have now 6 locations, 4 in the U.S. and 2 overseas that we manufacture and operate out of.
I mean, you said the magic word supply chain right there. I got to say that timing probably worked out really well as far as having your own facilities with everything we're going through. But can you go then into the more recent addition of the new brand, the AiSPiRE brand, which is an interesting spelling. I'd like you to explain that a little bit in the lowercase i's in the word.
Sure.
And that's only been since 2020. So dedicated to the integrator channel, which I'm sure a lot of our listeners that would resonate with them. Here's a lighting fixture brand that really is focused on our channel. How did that all transpire?
Absolutely. We started the integration channel about 2019. Prior to that, we looked at, probably like most suppliers do, looked at integrators as installers rather than what they really are, home technologists, and connecting everything together in the home. And so when we started in this and talking with integrators and dealing with them, we realized that many times they're working really deeply with the client and trying to provide a better experience, a much better experience of living all the way around. So they invest a lot of time and a lot of effort in bringing to the client state-of-the-art goods as well as quality goods that give them a better quality of life. And so what we realized was many times they'll start in this program, they'll start the work, but they may not always capture the sale depending on how the client works or other people on the job site. So we realized if we're going to get into this, we have to give them a brand that they can promote and they can work with that's exclusive to them and protects their work and the amount of time they put into not just the front end. It's not just about selling the product, but it's about all the programming and the maintenance throughout. And you heard me say in my training, Jeremy, so there's this what I call one and done syndrome, and everyone in the building equation is a one and done except the integrator. The architect draws the plans, the builder builds the facility, the electrician wires it. Everyone involved is one and done. They make the sale and off they go. And the integrator has an ongoing relationship with that client. And so that's why I think they're really a key piece of the puzzle going forward with everything being connected.
Well, I mean, everything I've heard over the early years of lighting, and the opportunities for lighting to the integration channel is just really kind of blocked from their access. And the fact that you've embraced the channel is such a refreshing situation from my perspective, having written and reported on this channel for so long. Um, Now you're obviously tasked with specifically working with the channel, but your background is lighting through and through. You've been a lighting lifer, it looks like, according to your bio.
Yes.
How did you, just to kind of, before we go into the category more, get into lighting? What was the kid growing up in Michigan? How does that end up your career path?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, believe it or not, my father was a lighting rep,
Okay.
and he was a Cooper rep for many years. He worked at actually electrical supply counter and got into repping. And so, when I was very young, 12 years old, I was hanging light fixtures and lighting showrooms and doing inventories in supply houses. And in my teen years, about 16, I can remember one particular job. I was standing on a ladder that, as high as the ladder would go, at the top of a pole with a round smoked globe in an apartment parking lot, and we were putting reflectors, or what we call refractors, on the light bulbs because they were shining in the apartment windows. So, ever since it was very young, child labor wasn't illegal back then. I was brought into the business, and so I started right around age 20. I worked for him. I went down to St. Louis. I partnered up with a guy, and we did specification and distribution there for about 5 years. And then in 96, I moved back to Michigan and started my own agency. So 30 years I was a rep. I was very fortunate because he and the company he worked for Cooper Halo, and then a couple of guys left Halo and started Juno Lighting back in 1976, and he was their first rep. And they were all about education, finding out what is needed in the field, what the installers like to see. And there were a lot of innovations with Juno when it was a privately owned company, and so a lot of that we carry forward today, even with WAC being independently owned and trying to find out what's happening in the field. And so about a little over 5 years ago, WAC, who I'd worked with for a long time and known the principals there for a long time, recruited me to come over to this side. And I was excited to learn about the manufacturing side and also bridge the gap between the manufacturer and what really happens in the field. And there really is quite a gap if the people at the manufacturing facility don't have any field experience. Out of fairness, I also learned a tremendous amount about supply chain management, inventorying product in 3 plants across the U.S. How do you balance inventory? And so it's been a great ride. But I kind of fell into the integration side. I was in charge of our distribution and specification channels. I've been in that all my life, and it's a traditional way of getting product to market. But going forward, controls are moving into the light fixtures, and everything being connected, it's really moving into the integration space. And so you have to shift. The distribution specification channels are still part of our WAC brand and WAC company, but the AiSPiRE product is all developed towards controls. So we work heavily on compatibility with control systems, the major control companies out there, as well as DMX control, to give the integrator the ability to create his scenes and his zones and then reprogram at any time. So it's been fun because I'm not a young guy anymore. I'm 56 years old, but to learn new technologies and get into this, it's really exciting. I feel like I'm climbing another mountain, here of fun and exciting technology.
Well, I'm pretty biased because I've been working with this channel for most of my career, and I would say it's a pretty good group of people to work with. And once they get their hands on a new technology, they really are dedicated and focused on learning what they need to learn there. Um, Generally speaking, so this is a great sort of starting point with all of them, and some of them are a little further along than others. I've been impressed with HTSA, about the buying group, ProSource, and Azion Unlimited, all sort of doing their parts to connect custom integrators with the lighting manufacturers. And I would say that this conference, this Lightapalooza conference, was just another great step forward and educating the channel. And you could see there are already people there that have been doing lighting for a while and are not necessarily experts, but they're comfortable with the terminology and the products. And I did want to kind of walk through that, though, for those who may need a refresher or are pretty unfamiliar and are curious and want to explore lighting as custom integrators. Um, so for those who may not be that familiar with it, Why do you think, just on a base level, and you explained this in your presentation, it's an opportunity that the custom integrator should take advantage of? I would say that the first point is that whole control aspect. You're controlling the lights, so you want them to work properly, or else you get blamed for things that don't necessarily turn off and on the right way or dim properly, correct?
Right, correct. There's a lot of finger pointing when it comes down to it. So we've learned a lot about LED the last 5 to 10 years, and also how it integrates with other electrical components in the house. And nobody knows about reflection and interference and insulated wires more than integrators. And so this is really right up their alley. Electricians go to codes classes to learn how to wire things according to code, but they don't have anywhere to go to learn about lighting and what causes an LED to blink or flutter or shimmer or any of that. And integrators are already kind of in that space with shielded wire, et cetera. So I think integrators are really right for it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the integrator is the one who is called to task if something doesn't dim right, or it blinks or flutters or strobes, as we call it in the industry. So they kind of get their finger pointed at them, and they didn't necessarily supply any of the lights. So they're getting dragged into this, like it or not. You're going to be into controlling lighting. You might as well provide it or work with the partners who are providing it to be able to provide product that you know is going to work. Otherwise, you're either eating some programming hours, or you're fighting with other people over who's going to pay for those programming hours to make it work.
Well, I want to get into more about the business, but first let's take a quick break for a word from our sponsor.
Founded in 2005 by a team of highly skilled audio veterans, Wet Sounds is an award-winning, Texas-based marine audio company, bringing a level of performance, style, and durability unparalleled in the audio industry. Wet Sounds is proud to introduce you to the Venue Series 110-volt, 1200-watt 4-channel amplifier system. The VS1200 amplifier was specifically designed to power Venue Series products while utilizing a 110-volt power source. Included is the VS-LS-ENC, a purpose-built landscape enclosure designed to house the Wet Sounds VS1200 amp with the plug-and-play media center in harsh outdoor environments. Learn more, visit wetsounds.com.
Welcome back. We're talking with Patrick Laidlaw, Director of Business Development for Integration at AiSPiRE, the integrator-only brand of WAC lighting. Patrick, how hard is it to get into this business when it comes to those other players, such as the electricians and the interior designers, maybe who are supplying the decorative fixtures? When it comes to custom integrators, what kind of roadblocks or challenges do they face when those other folks are already involved in projects?
Sure, that's a great question. And the number one fear I've learned from integrators is they don't want to step on toes. How do they get into this without stepping on toes? And I highly, highly recommend a proactive approach, because typically when lighting is provided through any of the existing channels, whether it be a distributor, interior designer, or the electrician, there's money being made somewhere. And if someone hears that you're going to try to provide the fixtures, they're going to just assume you're taking money away from them. You're taking away their income. And there's ways to make it a piece of the pie for everyone, and everybody wins. And so in most cases, the electrical contractor will make some money, maybe 5 or 10% off of the lighting package for handling all the billing. And usually they'll get the fixtures delivered to the job. And so if you go to an electrical contractor and you say, hey, I'd like to provide the fixtures on this job to be sure they work with the control system in a way that the client is expecting. But I understand that you figure that revenue into your bids. How about I replace that 10% of the fixture package with the same 10%? I'm going to give you the wiring diagram so you can lay it all out very easily. But here's the caveat for you, Mr. Electrical Contractor, and for me as an integrator, that we both win. Number one, I give you the lighting diagram. You lay it out. It's very easy to install. 2, I'm going to give you the same 10%, but instead of just a basic lighting layout, we're going to give the client something more, something that's worthy of their home, that's going to give them a better quality of life and a better experience. And so that lighting package is probably going to be significantly more than it is now. So that 10%, you're going to make more. And you also charge per opening to run the wires to each outlet. And there's going to be significantly more outlets, because instead of general lighting or retail lighting like you find in a store, we're going to do purposeful lighting for the way the client lives their life and where they spend their time in their rooms. And so what's in it for me, Mr. Electrical Contractor, to be fair, and to let you know I'm not trying to sell you a car extended car warranty, I get less headaches at the end because everyone's going to point at me, whether you provide the lighting or the homeowner purchases it on the internet or the lighting showroom provides something or the interior designer picks something out. I have to make all this work together. So if I provide it, you install it, we both make money. The client gets satisfied in a way that, they're not going to if we don't work together, and everybody wins. So the same with the interior designer. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that there are a couple of key phrases that you pointed out in your presentation that really stood out. One you just mentioned, which was the electricians getting paid per opening in the ceiling, and that was kind of eye-opening for me. And having that explained as you just did, and then when it comes to the interior designer, it's that billable hours key phrase. And so I guess that I'll cue you to continue the conversation with the interior designer part.
I would love to. So I've worked with interior designers over many, many years. Many of them don't have formal lighting training programs or have had no formal lighting training. So in interior design programs now, they are getting better and they're starting to incorporate lighting training. But if someone's been around for a little while in the business, they didn't really have formal lighting training. And so they're really great at picking out the aesthetics and the beautiful product, and lighting fixtures are jewelry for the home, but they haven't